Welcome back to the Random Horror Show. I am your horror hostess, Keisha Lacey, coming straight out of the Iron Pine Curtain, better known as East Texas. And thank you all for your listening ears out there in podcast land, all my horror fiends, my freaks, my mutants, all of them, all of y'all. I love you all so damn much that I have a new horror film review, and I met these guys in Houston, Gigi and Austin. They were at the Houston Horror Film Festival. That is like, say that about 3 times. Say that about 5 times. Ha 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 ha. That was from Hellman. Say that about 3 times. And I met them, and I seen this physical copy of this movie. It was like the only physical copy that was on the table while I was browsing around looking for some good videos, some good films to like watch and like enjoy, and of course like pimping them up, piping to y'all and everything else, especially out there in the horror community. And they had me sold when they said Killer Mime. And tonight's episode horror review is going to be Silent but Deadly. Oh yeah, Silent but Deadly, yo. Like, I was like dead ass like tripping on this movie. This movie is nothing. Had my chest hurting. I was just like, God dang, who like came up with this? So it's directed by Paul Dale, and of course they are out of Louisiana. Shout out to like Louisiana horror. I see y'all and everything. I'm glad that y'all doing it in the what do y'all call? I know we call the Lone Star State. I don't know what y'all call the casino state. The big, I know it's like New Orleans is the Big Easy and stuff and everything. Shit, I forgot. I'm sorry, y'all, but I love y'all. I love my Louisiana people. I am next door. Those are our next door neighbors. And I love to go over to Shreveport, been to New Orleans. It's not New Orleans, it's New Orleans. You say Orleans, New Orleans, or New Orleans or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It just flip flop. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to them out there. Paul Dell, you're doing a thing. Everybody loves like Killer Kites. Y'all need to see that. Sewer Gators, that is like on Amazon Prime. I watched all of those right there. Oh my God, it is crazy, crazy, crazy. This is a horror comedy, and like I said, Silent but Deadly is something. I'm just like, who came up with this? I mean, like, that is like so genius. Like, who would have thought, like, we all have our supernatural, like horror icons like Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael Myers, and so on and so forth. And then we have a fucking mime. Like, really? But you have like your typical like horror trope, the 4 like teenager young adults that's gonna be partying up in an old cabin. We all seen that, like Cabin in the Woods, rusty ass cabin, Evil Dead, all of that right there. They finna like have some sex, drink up a whole bunch of shit, fuck up a whole bunch of shit, and then they get killed. But I love it though. I love it. I really love it. But it just takes like these really like obnoxious and zany like twists and turns in this film. So it does start off as we get the history of like mimes and stuff, and then we see Austin, who plays a character who has this videotape, VHS tape, and he puts it in, like some ring type shit. You know what I'm saying? In 7 days, your ass gonna die when you get that phone call. But is telling the harrowing horror, like just eternal horror of like this kid. Supposedly he was abducted, he got murdered by this mime. It's like 15 years later. It's a sad story, and you have like this very like extremely obnoxious a news anchor named Brock Peterson. Brock Peterson, man. I mean, he is like like Ron, like from like Anchorman, you know, like out there, like even like Ron Burgundy will be like, yo, this cat right here is way out there. I mean, you even have like Brick. You know what I'm saying? Brick would be like, what the fuck? Like, who is this dude? Man, this dude crazy. You will have Brick saying he's crazy. That's like how, like, throw it off like Brock Peterson is. So Brock Peterson is just bringing you, like, the live stories. You know, you had, like, his dad. You know, he really doesn't give two shits. He loves cigarettes now. He loves cigarettes. He's still mourning, not really, over his son that's been 15 years, supposedly been murdered by a mine. Then you have this revenge story mixed in of where you have the boy who was supposedly killed by the mine is seeking out this revenge because the dad is too lazy to get his ass up and do the damn dirty work, but he had his older son to do it. He's like really like on a slow bus side and everything, but he is funny as hell though, because I'm like, damn, that dude's stupid as hell though. So it takes us into the woods where we meet our four victims out there. You have this one dude, his name is Jock, and he's a jock, but secretly he's like in the closet. You have his girlfriend. She has a lot of daddy issues, and she has one arm. She really does. She has like one arm, but she has like a RoboCop arm, and I thought that shit was like pretty fucking cool though, because I was like, are they playing with this chick have like this one arm? But no, really, seriously, like in the movie, she takes her up like RoboCop arm, and like I was like, oh my god, she really does have one arm. But like, yo, she was like really badass, and I was like, I want to meet this girl right here. I really want to meet this girl. She seems pretty fucking cool. Then you have like the ambiguously ethnicity dude. We don't know if he's Mexican or Italian or just, I don't know. We just don't know. And he's like an asshole. But he picked up this chick like from 7-Eleven. So she's like the slutty mixed slut. But I'm just going to say it like this. I don't know if y'all have like Circle K in like Louisiana, but like that's where you pick up the best hoes. It's like at Circle K, because my cousin told me, because he lives out there in California and everything. He said, and I have a friend too. He said that's where you pick up the good hoes. The best hoes is at Circle K. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. But I really didn't want to know, but thank you for letting me know. So I guess like 7-Eleven does it for this movie. Then you have like the friend that we don't know why he's invited, but he's just there. And I guess he's just there for moral support. Not really typically, because he's not very like morally challenged and everything. He's like off the chain though. He is so funny with his crazy ass jokes. And so they seen the mine out in the woods hitching a ride. Who like hitches a ride in the woods and stuff though? Like that is like some wrong turn type shit right there. So Jock like asked the mom, does he need a ride? He was like not saying anything. Of course, like he's a mime, and I'm like, dude, he's a mime. He's not gonna like say anything. He's gonna like gesture with his body language and hands and shit like that. You could catch it, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't catch it and stuff, so they got like mad and like ambiguously like ethnic dude that picked up the whore from like 7-Eleven like had a hot dog bun, and I was like, why does he have a hot dog bun? It's like there's no hot dog in it. So he like throws the hot dog bun at him and says fuck you, all that stuff, you know, like how people are just being an asshole, just throwing just hot dogs and obscenities like at random mimes that like they're in the woods. And the mime is like so furious. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get you kids if I have to like kill all of you. Because he's like, yo, he sees red, you know. But we could tell that he sees red because he's not saying it. We just know that he's like, I'm gonna kill their asses. So they meet up at like Tucker's like dad's cabin. It's a shithole. It looks like it's in foreclosure. They went out into like this barn section, and it looked like every typical like shitty ass like maybe like double wide like trailer, and that's in the woods, you know, because I live in a like rural area and it looks about like that, you know, with the old tires and shovels and just all kinds of knickknack stuff and everything because somebody is like a fucking, like hoarder and they like hoard all this shit like my dad. And then like she sees this fishing pole and then she goes into yesterday and she talks about like her dad abandoned her yesterday and like he just like, yo, I need some beer. I ran out of beer because he was fishing and she was like, oh, hi, dad. And he was like, here, hold my fishing pole. So she like waited and waited and waited. He like abandoned her and stuff. And she was like sad and like she was like in a fetal position. She started singing nursery rhymes to herself. So, so she was like traumatized because her dad left yesterday. That was just 24 hours ago. And she has like these multitudes of like, seem like it's been decades of like childhood trauma and damage that she has had because her dad left her yesterday fishing because he needed some beer. Anyways, so they got there. They were like, woo hoo hoo, we're gonna like bring on the alcohol. And then, she's going on about her like daddy issues and her like boyfriend that is like closeted, just like, oh, do you have pictures? And she's like, here, I have a picture of him right there. That's how he looked. And then he was like, hey, do you have your dad in a Speedo or whatever? So she has a picture of her dad in a Speedo. It was more like shorts. And he was like sitting there getting like really like hot and bothered. And she was like talking about her dad issues. And like he was like over there like salivating over her dad and like busting a nut in his jeans and shit. And like really she was like confused and like, oh my God, this dude did not just like bust a nut looking at my dad's picture. Yes, that happened, sweetheart. He likes penis just like you do. Boing. So there was like this really like like smut film that like the slut from like 7-Eleven and like Tucker has made, and that was like the funniest scene ever. I was just like, I was tripping balls and stuff, and it was like going great until like the crazy, we didn't invite his ass, but he just came along, dude, just like popped up in the middle for a menage a trois. Ha ha ha, mimes, French, menage a trois. Get it? Ha 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 ha. Wah, wah, wah. So he just like ruined the whole thing. So he's just like walking around the house like with a towel and just like messing with people and just being weird and stuff. So they just really didn't pay attention to him. So the mime like pops out of nowhere because he like, I found you kids. You know what I'm saying? You threw a hot dog bun at me. You made fun of me. Now I'm going to kill your ass. So Tucker went out there because, that's his dad's property. And usually I was like in the way of like a Southern tradition and stuff. If somebody's like in your yard and you have no business and everything. I don't know how their gun laws or whatever like that. But like in Texas, if somebody shows up in your yard and you don't know who the hell they are, you announce yourself and you're like, yo, I'm gonna pop you. And they'd be like, oh, okay, let me like dip on. But I guess this is Louisiana. It's a little different. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't live there. But y'all need to fix y'all damn roads. I gotta say that. Y'all need to fix y'all damn roads. Sorry, that was random right there. That's the reason why it's called a random horror show. But fix your roads. I love y'all. Love Louisiana. Fix your roads. So Tucker goes out there, he like throws a beer can, tell him to fuck off and everything. And so Tucker turns around and the mime like gets his like mime axe and like axe him to death like on the property. And everybody's like, oh crap, like what the hell just happened? This mime with this axe and everything, he's like going ham on Tucker and stuff. And so like 7-Eleven chick, she comes out and she's crying and she's like grabbing Tucker's entrails and innards and blood and gore and everything, and she's just like I'm like thinking like, are you gonna harvest them or something? I mean, like, I know you picked up at the 7-Eleven. I know Tucker probably like bought you $10 worth of like, a big Slurpee, a hot dog, some Slim Jims or something like that. Maybe like some liquid death water and everything so you won't be dehydrated. But you're looking at this and you're picking up this dude's stuff. Like, just because you had like mime sex with him and y'all did a video and stuff like that, little smut, little secretive, cute video, does not mean that you have like real deal feelings for him. He's just some dude that just picked you up. You know what I'm saying? But she just felt some type of way. I guess like that mime sex was like a bomb to her. I mean, he really literally did clapped her mime cheeks and blew her mime back out. So she's like, oh, like that. And like old girl with the one arm is like, get your ass back in. What's your name? So they're like all confused because like they don't even know 7-Eleven like whore chick's name. And they're like, hey, like slut bucket, like what is your name? She's like, my name is Linda. They like, who? I don't know a Linda. And they're like, no, that's me. And she's like, Lisa, and then, you know, they keep like messing up her name and stuff like that. And so she like goes running out in the woods because she don't want to stay there because she thinks like all of them are dorks. They messed up her name. Now they look at her because like they're slut shaming her and everything else. So she like runs out to like, I don't know, look for help or get away, which in that typical fashion right there, that's not going to work. So she gets like caught up in a invisible like box and stuff, so he like set a trap like for any of them to like get caught in. So she got like, she was the second person to get killed because she was trapped in this box. And I like the way how they really like did the whole like mime trapped in the box thing, because I was like, I would fuck up that like invisible box. I seriously would. So he comes over and smashes her ass, and all you see is like a pile of like her and her like slutty like pink like pink by Victoria's Secret bra and stuff, and it's got blood on it and everything. She got that on sale. I don't shop at Victoria's Secret anymore. But like anyways, so now it's like all kinds of full chaos and everything. Like, oh, home dude, you know, he was like really sad because like he was like, oh my god, my Guinevere, my Aphrodite, which he was like saying like the whole same like goddess name. And they were like, you don't even know this girl. And he was like, but she's my one true love. And I was just like, just because you looked at her boobs and then you went in and you messed her like mime smut porn, you know, homemade porn that you find like on Pornhub or like XX Hamster or some shit like that. And I'm just like, well, he is crazy. And then he was like insulting all of them and stuff, especially like the girl with one arm. And then like oh homeboy and everything, he called him like a tucker hole. And I was like, that is the funniest shit, you tucker hole. And he just like went running in the woods looking for her. I was like, bro, something is wrong with you. You are destined to be killed. So, but yes. So they went off into the woods running away from the mime. And I was like, the mime is somewhere else, but they're just like running around, you know, like how like typical like horror like white people fashion, you know, they don't, cars was not slashed or anything else. They're just running off in the woods, and it was like really funny because that was like the funniest thing. You know, it was like nobody didn't use their brain in this movie. That's the reason why it's a horror comedy. So like Jock was like caught up like with like Ding Dong Doofus and everything that was like avenging like his brother's like, you know, murder. And he was like, I'm looking for some mimes and stuff like that. And he shot like oh homeboy Jock, and Jock was like, yo, I could talk, like I'm not a mime. He kept asking questions, and I was like, yo, why do you keep asking a dude question and dude like answers your question? And I was like, you know how like, and I'm gonna say it like this, you know how like slow people are like whenever you like talk to them and you like break it down like in simple like elementary terms, and they still get like upset. And you're just like, why are you being upset? But you know they're slow, but you're not going to say it and everything else. You understand that, and you accept them of who they are, and they still get mad and angry and upset, you know, and they're like raging to like heaven to hell because they can't understand like comprehension, and you just explain it to them like 10 times, like over and over, A to Z, Z to A, B to like 12, 3.4 to like the 36th in power and everything else, and they still don't get it. That's how this older brother who is seeking revenge for his little brother That's how he worked. As my big mama says, he was nothing but a big stand up in the roid. Means he's a dummy. So he kills Jacques for no reason because he was stupid. Like I explained to y'all. And then, like, here comes, like, homegirl. She's like, oh, my God, Jacques is dead. And so she sees, like, Revenge, like, older brother. And she was like, hey, how are you? Would you like to be my dad? And he was like, whoa, like, this is the part where he really got really smart and everything else. Because we just seen him, like, being done for, like, 2 or 3 minutes with Jacques because he's dead. And then all of a sudden he just, like, got like really like super ass smart. You know, he was like Rain Man, like Dustin Hoffman, and he was like, yo girl, you need to like go away and be a survivor. You need to live because I don't want to be your dad. Don't tag me along in your shit. I just know you for a couple of seconds. I'm not gonna admit that I killed your boyfriend. You need to go and survive. So she finally did. She really like got a clue. She actually listened to somebody and she left. Like, good for you, girl, because like really I kind of like want like a sequel to this film. Really I do. Paul Dell, listen to me. I want a sequel to this film right now. Just letting you know. I'm gonna have her in there, but she's gonna be like Sydney, but like stupid. But anyways, and more father issues. You know, I love that. So anyways, like, old dude, the one that was, like, trying to look for old girl and everything, and now she's, like, smashed and nothing but, like, bones and blood and, like, a Victoria's Secret pink bra and stuff. He, like, sees, like, old homegirl's dad, and he was like, oh, my gosh. And he, like, man, I'm so thirsty. So he just took the beer and just, like, drenched himself in his beer. And, like, homegirl dad was like, oh, shit, this motherfucker just, like, took my beer, poured it all over his body, drank my stuff up, and he was like, all this time I'm trying to come back to get my fishing pole because he did not remember his daughter. He remembered he left his fishing pole and he had one beer left, and that dude was just so ignorant to take that man's beer. And I was like, sir, you do not mess with a man that is walking alone in the woods with one bottle of beer mumbling like that. Do you not know like how dangerous that is? Just like my dad. And then he pops him really good with the beer bottle, knocks his ass out. I think he's dead, or he's just taking like a whole hour until everything is like over with. You know, he could be living. So big question mark. Like I said, we need a silent but deadly sequel to this. He didn't get his fishing pole, but he was really pissed off because that dude took his only beer. So the last act of it is that the brother who is seeking revenge for his baby brother's like death, and then he meets up with the mime. They had like battle it out, and as Brock Peterson and some other people and everything that was like involved in this, while they were giving like straight up like hardcore commentary like on this last duel battle. Who would win? Would it be like doofus stupid like Revenge brother or the mime? Finally, guess what? Somebody won and somebody lost. But really, the surprise, we have a M. Shalom, I can't pronounce that dude's last name, Night twist to it. Come to find out, the long lost brother that supposedly have been murdered for 15 years is actually the mime. There is this whole like woo. You don't see waves or nothing like that when they're doing like the whole backstory like flashback. I'm just doing that just for entertainment purposes. They're like, the mime like actually was like in the woods just minding his own miming business and everything, and like a little homeboy was like playing some ball and the ball flew, and he like, okay, where's my ball? The mime threw it, and he was like, oh look, it's a mime. So him and the mime like befriend each other. They was like all off in the woods, and then he was eating a banana. Who eats a banana in the woods? Never mind. I just had a dirty thought right there, but we're not going to go talk into that right there. But see, he was like eating a banana, and he like threw the banana like on the ground and slipped on the banana, which the mime died instantly just like that. So the little boy took the place of the mime, and he became like the mime killer, the mysterious mime that lurks in the woods. So afterwards, which we see that flashback of it, that the older brother understood that he killed his baby brother, the one he has been planning and doing this whole montage thing and duking it out, and I don't know what the hell he'd been doing in his garage, but he just kind of just gives me like really creepy, you know, molester vibes and everything, but he's like very obsessed on like revenging like his little brother's killer. Turns out to be that's his little brother that he killed. He feels like shit, and guess what? The like mind mystic powers like transfers into the older brother. Now he's the mime. The end. But really, is it the end? No, it's not. So like after you just watch this video and stuff, the dude that like popped in the VHS tape and he was like, oh man, I love that movie, his friend was like, yo, that shit was dumb like that, and he pulls it out and he starts turning into a mime. Like I said, it's that Ring like whole thing. You die in 7 days, but when you watch this film, you actually turn into a mime. So the guy was like, oh my god, kill me. He was saying it like in mime, which is like very silent, and then you see like, you know, little subtitles right there like, kill me. And then like he shoots him like with a crossbow, and I was just like, who keeps a crossbow in their house, like just right there. Then I got to thinking, well, I carry a machete my damn self, so I understand that. And he like kills his friend because he's turned into a mime. He doesn't want to end up being a mime. And then his wife walks in, and that's the end of the movie. Killer, mime, aka slash like silent but deadly, is one of those films that you really do need to watch. You will have like a great time. Like the comedy to me was like really on point. I mean, it's just like eye watering. This shit is stupid. It's like stupid, but it's like too damn funny. It's not like one of those like, oh my gosh, this is not funny at all. Like the jokes are pretty much like on point. And I was like really surprised about that. And a lot of people, like if you think about it, like comedy is like very hard to like write and everything. But like it's just side splitting. I was just like, what is this? Oh my gosh. I mean, you just have your mouth just like drop, and you just do nothing but like laugh through it. You know, if you're like really big on like horror comedy, like Shaun of the Dead, and you know, like Frankenhooker, which I did, was a really pretty good comedy. I love the you know, the jokes in that also. I mean, there's like pretty good like horror comedies out there that like is side splitting, your chest be burning, you know, you're coughing up a lung, you're pissing on yourself, like that right there, but still like have like that horror element to where you're just laughing, and then you're like, oh shit, like where did that come out of? I like stuff like that because I'm a big like hee hee ha ha jokester myself. Sometimes like people say like you're funny, I'm like, no, I'm not, I'm just being myself. This is just the way how I think. Sometimes when I do crack a joke, it's usually late and it's like, oh, that did not pan out. So I just stopped like trying to be a comedian, and then people just say I'm naturally funny. I'm like, no the fuck I'm not. I'm just being myself. Leave me alone. Go away. I don't want to talk to you. No, not really. Don't the not talk to you part, like that's for people that get on my damn nerves. But silent but deadly, it's just not nothing but just gives you just laughs, you just be in stitches. Everybody like drinks, and I was just like, where's the water? Maybe I seen somebody, which is the dude that they did not invite, but he just invited himself all along during this time. He actually drank some water. So everybody just drink, and I'm just like, I know people are dehydrated. I'm like, y'all are going to develop cirrhosis of the liver, you know, later on in life. If you don't quit all that, you look like binge drinkers. It's not the safe way to like do all this partying and stuff. And no, there's like a killer mime out on the loose in the woods and everything. I think y'all need to sober up. It's just like, if you watch Cabin in the Woods and you remember how Cabin in the Woods was, like everybody was like so super smart, and they know what the fuck was up until like they were like experimented on. They didn't even know until like they find out and everything. yeah, it's just like how like the whole like little testing things what they was doing like with the kids in Cabin in the Woods. This is like without them testing, but it's just like a one mime just lurking in the woods killing them off. But like it was really good that like, they had some, they had one, two, three, like four like kills in this. So that's not bad for like this movie. And like don't like judge like a case or a physical copy by its cover. This is actually the first film of like Paul Dell to do, and I really like it. This film like really sets the tone of like for all of us to have been like graced and blessed by like Paul Dell films, and of course like Austin Frosh. Since I met him, and he's like really wonderful that has written and did some producing for like these films right there. So like there you go. And of course like Go Tigers, LSU, Red Stick, Baton Rouge, you know what I'm saying, like that. I'm not a college like woo like that, but I did go to SFA now. So Axum Jacks, you know what I'm saying? So SFA till I die. Just like y'all like LSU, go Tigers. You know what I'm saying? So, no further ado, I'm just letting you guys know. Please go check out Silent But Deadly. You can like buy this physical copy from them. If you're going to catch like a film con or something like that, please do check them out. It's called By the Horns. Go follow them on Instagram. Go holler at them. I think they have like bythehorns@gmail.com. If you can catch them like at a con or whatever like that, please like stop by their table, be intrigued by these movies. They're funny as hell. They are crazy as shit. They just like it's nuts. This movie is like so super nuts. It's like Louisiana horror, and it's just like turned the fuck up like their parties and how everybody else is and everything. And I also heard like Louisiana men are like the best men. I did date a guy that was from Louisiana. One of them I really don't give a shit about and everything, and he can like suck my like grandpa's dead dick and everything and go to hell. But the other guy and everything, his like family is rooted in Louisiana and stuff, but he's like the cutest. But like other than that and everything, he's like cool. He's like my best friend. We like dated, but we like best friends and shit like that. So it's alright. It's awesome. Pretty cool like that. But yes, go do check them out. Please do follow them on Instagram. Repeat it again. By the Horns TV. Check out Silent But Deadly. Like I said, please do make a sequel to this film. Bro, this actually opens up to a sequel. I would love to see a sequel to this. Please, like, top this motherfucker off. I'm just begging you so I can just be straight pissy watching this film. And, like, also catch sewer gators and, like, killer kites. Lord have mercy. Oh, Jesus. That was something else right there. But no further ado, that is enough of my time, y'all. Thank you so much for listening to this horror review of Silent But Deadly. You can catch me on Threads, Random Horror Show, Instagram, what do you call that? If you want to drop in a line, if you're a horror content creator, actor, whatever, it doesn't even matter. Just as long as you're in the horror community, I don't care if you write books, I don't care if you sell Hot Pockets and everything that looks like the Necronomicon or whatever like that, whatever you do, or you want me to review a movie for you or anything, or review shit, drop me a line at the randomhorrorshow@gmail.com. And of course, I'm on Facebook. If you want to, drop me a line there, say hello. Shit, doesn't matter. Anyways, I am Keisha Lacey, and I'm shimmying my ass on off this podcast, be it PSA right here. Whatever you do, you better watch out for those killer minds that's out there in the woods if you live in the damn woods. Okay? So you see a mime, you run away. That's all I gotta say. I don't trust no damn clowns. I don't trust no damn mimes. F that crap. Thank you so much, And this is the Random Horror Show.